others a bit on the side. The show that's like Stephen and his nose, always picking until we get the answers. Has he not permanently got that finger shoved right out there having a little old rummage? If you'd like to see it again, here's what happened in tonight's show.
I am Iris. Welcome to the control room. Ashley, I want you to form the first Power Alliance. This week, only the Power Alliance will nominate.
So the public voted me as the Power Housemate this week.
I'm going to choose Chris.
Do you reckon you're going to marry Kim?
I get very carried away with these kind of things.
We've decided to nominate Stephen. A lot of the time he talks about himself.
The first person to face this week's eviction is Stephen. This is just the beginning. No one is safe.
I want you to recruit one more housemate to join your alliance.
Oh shit, it's me?
The three of you must then decide the next housemate to nominate.
So you're my second. Oh my god.
I feel like I'm on a spaceship. I absolutely love it. The person I had to nominate in is Ash.
Ash, you will join Stephen and face this week's public vote.
Oh my god.
What the fuck is going on?
The three of us are mates till the end of week 8.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable, guys.
Well done.
So, let's crack on and meet tonight's panel. First up, a man who's always making the headlines, and that's mainly because he writes them. It's the Daily Star's Ed Leave. Next up, a businesswoman with a bite who is here to tell us who has the brains to make it all the way and whose business plan is about to get them fired. It's the former Apprentice winner, Stella English. And finally, we have managed to entice two of Wales's finest. I'm not talking Tom Jones or Catherine Zeta-Jones, though. I am talking two girls from the Valleys who, just like Stevie Lee, ain't afraid to romp on national television. It's Jenna Jonathan and Natalie Harris. Okay, so should we crack straight on with it? Now, let me tell you, earlier on, they played a joke on me, and I went to pick up my stick in rehearsals, and there was a prop poo down there. And I picked it up and had it in my hand. So I am very, very conscious this evening of picking this thing up. And then second time, they strapped it to the end of the mic, so it was going over this thing. Anyway, let's stop talking about poo, because I can't see any. So Ashley formed her Power Alliance with Chris and Mark, which I thought was quite a great combination of people. What did you two think, girls? What did good combination?
I think it was a good combination because
it eliminated Pat from the equation because they all thought that.
Yeah, and they get on better, and I think it's nice now that we've got Ashley away from Danielle. It's nice to see her a bit of a different side to her.
I think she turned into a bit of a
and she's turned into the leader of a little group herself.
So you think she's blossoming?
Yeah.
Ed, who would you have chosen if you'd have been in Ashley's shoes?
Well, I think since I've got eyes and ears, I probably would have picked Stephen. I think that the way he's obsessing over his future with Kimberly is a bit like one of those people you see in Bella magazine. He's like, I've got the church and I've booked the reception, and the honeymoon. I just need the bride, you know. It's just embarrassing. It's just. I think the reason.
So you would have picked Stephen?
Well, wouldn't anyone?
I like him, I do.
Yeah, no. I think the reason Stephen should not stay, and he definitely doesn't deserve to win, is because he says he would spend the 100,000 on fireworks, which is fine, but lots of people watching, and most people in that house, it would change their life. And I feel like it's a bit inappropriate, really, to be, if you are really well off, well done, but just be a little bit quiet
conscious
about
of everybody else.
Don't be so showy.
Ed, that might be the first sensible thing I've ever heard you say. I'm just joking.
I prefer Riley.
I know you do. Now, earlier today, Mark and Chris discussed what might happen if the housemates find out that they have the power. Let's have a look.
I'm finding it hard.
No, but I think they've been made in the right way.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm fine with them. It's the difference between not being fine with having to make a decision and then making it because you have to.
We've seen, in past weeks after the power decisions have come out, people have kicked off, people have gone mad, people have felt betrayed, people have gone fucking crazy. And I'm just relating it all back to them, and I'm thinking when this comes out, we'll probably all kick off. And whoever's in this power group has got to be able to explain properly why they picked who they did. Not the worst mistake anybody could make would do what Toya did.
Yeah.
If there's 4 of us and we have to put up 3 people one of us take them off. Like, I'll take Ash off, you take Stephen off, Winston take whoever off, whatever. I just sort it out properly and try and like defuse it before it all blatantly fucking kicks off.
Okay, so paranoia, now that there's secret power housemates being talked again, is rife. Stella, are they right to be worried about it all kicking off?
Definitely, because when they've been given that kind of control and power, they're on a different level to the other. It's not an even playing field. And of course, people get jealous and want to kind of like understand why did you choose me and etc. So I think it's definitely right, but it's interesting how when put in the position, Mark completely changes, and I think, he loves it.
Absolutely. We're going to talk more about the Power Alliance a little bit later on in the show, but let's move on to the rest of the show. Pav told Big Brother he doesn't feel particularly attached to anybody in the house and is a bit of a floater. It's always funny saying that word when I've just been talking about poo at the beginning of the show. Do you think this is part of his game plan, girls? Do you think he thought, I'm going to go in there, kind of be friends with anyone, not get attached, and that way I might sail through coming in at such a late stage?
I just don't know what he's still doing in there.
I
he needs to be on like Countdown or the Antiques Roadshow. He's just boring.
He hasn't got a personality at all.
Really? He hasn't been in there very long. Sometimes it takes a while to blossom.
Oh no, I don't think he's got anything in him at all.
He doesn't bring anything.
Everyone's going, Ashley's boring, she's not doing anything.
And look how she's come
and
out
look what
herself.
happened. Some people are slow burners, I would say.
So do you think he's got potential, Pav?
Of course he has, yes. And I think, if anything, he's already showing signs of playing the game as a game, which is what we prefer in this sort of era of Big Brother. And he's a very interesting character, and I think we should give him a bit of time. People were saying after half an hour of the first show he was in, oh, he's boring, get him out, just because he wasn't flashing his...
Yeah.
Really hasn't got any
His
boobs,
knockers.
Well,
he could have been flashing something else, couldn't he?
He could.
He could have got any old thing out. Could he be making himself an easy target, though? I mean, we've heard Mark say tonight as well that sometimes he forgets that he's there.
No, I don't think he's an easy target. He's not doing anything wrong, is what I mean. I think because he's new, yes, I think he's an easy target. I think Zoe, even though she's new, she has sort of a little bit of protection because she was well known and because she can entertain. And bear in mind how boring it is in there. If someone can sing, they're going to be in favour with people because they can entertain them. Whereas Pav hasn't got so much to offer automatically. But I just feel like Ashley is a prime example of someone who, if you give them time, can become one of the most interesting housemates of the series.
OK. Should we talk wedding bells? Let's talk wedding bells. They're ringing in the air after Stephen discussed marrying Kimberly. I don't even care if it was hypothetical. He still talked about it on national television. Stella, are they going to make it to the altar? Do I need to buy a hat?
Well, marriage is a very difficult thing, and I think to kind of throw into the mix meeting on a reality TV show, having sex on a reality TV show, and getting married. I think. Oh, sorry.
Don't mind that.
Sorry, I don't watch that show.
It's okay, don't worry.
But obviously, it'll be very unlikely. But who knows? They might do it. Maybe they'll invite us. Probably not me now.
She is. She's out of the house, which I found out on Twitter. No one thought they'd tell me. I just read it.
But I think that
over the
broke his
weekend.
heart. He was crying about that.
Do you think she's maybe thinking the same thing still? Is she thinking yes, marriage, prenups, the whole works? Let's move in together. Or do you think she's out? And
I think she's saying to the nurses, like, extend my stay, shorten my visiting hours.
Although we did see that they did have a chat, didn't they, on the phone? And she said, "I miss you, I love you," and
she had to, really.
Yeah.
I think she thought she had to.
Well, she didn't have to be on the phone, though, did she?
Well, no, but he could have done something to himself, couldn't he? He did.
Shaved his bloody hair off. Pulled a Britney on us all. Well, listen. Guess who's going to be here tomorrow? Kimberly. We are finally going to get to sit down and have a little chat with her, which will be enlightening. Okay, let's have a little chat. What are you going on about?
So she's better then.
She's better. What are you implying, Barbara? What are you implying? Now, we saw Christopher being swift change of subject. We saw Christopher being grilled about his relationship with Mark. I thought he seemed quite quick to play it down, and he seemed quite calm about it. Stella, do you think he's maybe trying to hide his feelings? He talks quite openly about how Mark won't reveal anything about his feelings in the house. He's not quite sure how he feels about him. Do you think Christopher's downplaying
Mark doesn't strike me as the person that doesn't know how he's feeling. Yeah, you know, he knows how he's feeling.
I think he knows how he's feeling,
but I think he's in control.
Very rarely shows it.
Yeah, but I think he's very in control and, like Helen, very aware of himself, how he behaves, the fact that, you know, he's on the show, etc. And he's always got that in the back of his mind, you know, he wants to win. And I think he's very careful about, you know, how he displays his emotions and things. So, whereas I think Christopher is much more, you know, natural. That's just my impression of him. So I think, you know, whether he likes him or whether he doesn't like him, I think he wouldn't want to, like, go so far as to kind of put it out there.
What are you guys thinking about the whole Christopher and Mark situation? Hold on. And again.
I think he's waiting until after they go out, then they can meet up and then
doing
discuss.
it the sensible way.
Yeah, the sensible way, not like, you know, not like Stephen and Kimberly.
Not what?
Not like getting married.
Not like getting married. Not like getting married after 6 weeks. Girls, could hooking up with Mark help or hinder him, do we think?
I think it could be a good thing.
Yeah.
Because it's never been seen really in like any reality kind of show, of it really.
Plus, it's really sweet. Like, I think they're so sweet together,
Like
and the fact that they
flirting
haven't gone like
cute.
all in straight away, I think is a good thing.
Holding
So
back
if
a
it,
little bit,
yeah,
keeping a little bit.
So if it
yeah.
develops,
So your believers in holding back a little bit?
Oh yeah,
Totally holding back, keeping something for yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Firm believers.
And on that note, then shut up. Certified body language expert Julie James will be here giving our housemates a full body examination. Plus, we'll be finding out who the Power Alliance pick next for the chop. We'll see you very soon. Welcome back to Big Brother's Bit on the Side, the show that's like the modern-day equivalent of Shakespeare. Groundbreaking and confusing to some, and genius to others. But whichever way you look at it, we will still be being studied in schools in 250 years' time. Yes, we will. Yes. Now, the Power Alliance have been at it again, and now they have been given a helping hand from an unlikely source. Are you ready for your chops to be around this? Yeah. Here you go.
It's now time for you to choose your next nomination. To help you decide, Big Brother will allow you to have some expert advice on who you should nominate next. Shortly, via the screens, you will talk to Bianca, Danielle, and Matthew.
Shut up!
Oh my God, are you taking the piss?
The first housemate to talk to is Bianca.
Where's she coming on?
Hello, babe.
Hi. Oh my God.
Bianca, we've only got a minute. We need to ask you, who do you think out of Winston, Pav,
Zoe and Winston.
and Christopher, who is the most genuine? Who should we definitely not nominate? Out of which of them, who would you suggest that we put up for eviction?
Right, I think you should put up Pav. He's not genuine. He will fuck you over to get where he needs to be. He will stir things up. He will do anything to get to the finals.
Is he more ruthless than he comes across?
He is more ruthless, and he's very sneaky as well. And he was always talking about power this, power that when we was in the luxury pad, so he will fuck you over.
Cool.
What about another one?
Do you have another one? Me too.
Winston is not as thick as he says he is.
Yeah.
He's definitely playing a game.
Yeah.
Zoe, I think she's a very genuine girl, and please don't do Zoe.
We're not having to, no chance.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Bianca.
Thank you.
We miss you so
Thank
much.
you.
Bye.
So there you go. What do you think of that, Judy?
No.
No? She kept them inside her top,
didn't she?
which I wish she'd have done on Friday. We've kind of ruined the whole intro to Judy James now. She's basically going to tell us what the hell is going on in that house. Give it up for Judy James. So, we're 7 weeks in, and I hear you are noticing changes.
I am indeed. It takes stock time now because they're going into...
Take stock time. time.
Take stock time.
Right.
I said that twice. I don't
Take
think I could. Take
stock
stock time. They're going into kind of rehab now, which is where they do the thing that winners tend to do, which is we love a winner who's revealed another side to their character. So remember when Rylan, you know, he was this lovely sweet guy, and then suddenly he stood up to Spidey, and we loved that.
Yeah.
And actually, though, unlike him, it's actually easier for people that have been quite horrible to reveal a softer side than it is for the nice people to reveal.
Is that because we're quite gullible and we love a nice person?
We are.
And we like to see people change and
Totally
get better.
gullible, and especially when we feel frightened or intimidated by somebody, just for our own security, we try and seek out a niceness in them, which kind of brings us on to the next housemate, really.
Okay, so who's been showing signs
Helen.
recently
Helen.
of change?
I mean, all the time I keep hearing people now saying, she's quite nice, I quite like all of a sudden. And the thing that I've noticed, and I don't know if this is just me, I've forgotten the things that she did that I didn't like. I'm quite surprised. I remember that I didn't like her.
To a certain extent, I agree with you, yeah. I mean, there are the obvious big arguments that were had and the quite nastiness that tend to kind of stay with you. But I think as a whole, you're right, like, you know, as time's going by, she's almost settled down and you're seeing that different, nicer side to her.
But I don't think we're seeing a different Helen, that's the whole point. In a way, Helen doesn't change because Helen doesn't really do that I can see genuine emotions. Helen is just Helen and she will react to circumstances. So when she was getting angry with people, she wasn't actually getting angry. She was using quite vicious behaviours, but I didn't see any genuine anger in her. So it was almost what she did for a sport. And at the moment, because she's got Ash there and people are really not annoying her at the moment, I think that's why she's calmed down. She's also got a huge advantage in the house that we don't really get to see, and that is because she's a hairdresser. She's going around doing these very intimate grooming acts with them individually.
Yeah, we see her cutting their hair.
Yeah. And you imagine you've got somebody that they've all said they find quite frightening, but then suddenly she'll spend quite a lot of time doing some intimate grooming, and that might entrance them slightly. They might think, oh, she's actually quite nice. More for their own security. That's the side they want in there.
Are we going to see this quieter, calmer side to Helen stay, do you think, or can she be triggered again?
No, I mean, for me, you know, if a lion is sitting there sleeping, it's because it's eaten and it's full up, but it will still go out and kill the next day. So, you know, for me...
You're scaring me. Now, her and Ashley, they've had their differences, but they are the only two remaining original females in the house. What does that say that they are more similar than they think? I mean, why are they the two that are still there?
I was amazed by this. The penny dropped a couple of days ago, and I thought, there are only those two left in there now. Of all of those tough women that went in, all those warrior women, those strong women, they ruled the whole place, didn't they, for weeks?
So what do they
and
have?
now there's
that's
two
kept them?
left.
I mean, I know Helen has a pass to the final. That's probably helped. But what else is it about, you know, about them that it has made it those two?
Well, Helen survives through naked aggression, but I mean, I think with Ashley, she does do this quite sweet, girlish thing that's quite disarming. But what is quite upsetting is they're almost becoming a self-extinct species because the only two women are completely pitted against one another. So there's going to be this kind of King Kong meets Godzilla fight to the death between them. I mean, the guys just haven't come into it, really, have they? It's just been the women destroying themselves systematically, which is quite sad, really.
Apart from Kimberly, who left over the weekend unbeknownst to me, she wasn't coming back, which is wonderful to, as I said earlier, find out online. Has the house changed since her departure?
Yeah, I mean, clearly because of the change in Stephen, who has got into all sorts of rehab now. I think Stephen realised quite early on that relationship was going to scupper his chances of winning. And however upset he was with his old ham sandwich about her leaving... Sorry, that's not a euphemism, that literally was a ham sandwich.
It was a very odd diary room, wasn't it? Yeah. You know, he just found out he was, you know,
with his mouth
saying
open
and just like, all the ham's dropping off.
I mean, he does these distraction things, but that went a bit beyond. Did you know he can click his toes as well, like fingers?
No.
That's,
what does that say about him?
When he gets really annoyed, as he was today, he was trying to act with Mark. He was saying, I don't mind that you said I was going first. And his bare toes were clicking like fingers. That was such a sign of aggression. Yeah, don't try it at home. I mean, really, it's That was like his tell in poker. But anyway, apart from that, I mean, what he then reinvented himself as, because clearly he was overly controlling and manipulative as a lover, but then he emerged as class clown, didn't he? And he was just this, but he did it in exactly the same way.
But the head shaving as well. Why do you think he did that?
Well, again, I think he just throws himself into everything, doesn't he? And he obviously saw Winston, and he wanted to be one of the boys, and he wanted to be the cool gang, so he wanted to outdo them. He also displayed his torso, I think, for the first time, and he's very insecure about that. He's been pulling his T-shirt down, looking at his stomach all the time. Suddenly that was off, he was oiling himself. So, but like everything else, you know, when he was a lover, it became too much, too intense, and the class clown got really creepy, didn't it? You know, with the eyes.
So is he doing the class clown thing to make himself liked more by the public and housemates?
I think.
And will it work?
Well, no, because it was creepy, wasn't it? I mean, I did laugh. I have to say, I did laugh. But the point was, as soon as it was revealed that there was a power housemate again, he just got a cloth and wiped it off, and out came the usual Mr. 100%, much more strategic with a snappy toes, Stephen.
Who else can you see going through big changes?
Well, I mean, Christopher, and I quite like watching the Christopher again. He hasn't changed intrinsically, but the circumstances have changed. But since he's kind of paired off with Mark, and that's taken Mark into the Runts group, which is good for them as well. So they're becoming more powerful. But Christopher's allowed now to finish sentences and things like that. All the time he was being picked on, he was still a very strong housemate, and he was still verbally very strong. But he just got talked over all the time and ignored.
He persevered, though, didn't he?
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
He kind of took it on the chin. He carried on, he stuck in there, he survived every week.
And I think he deserves where he is now. I mean, it's still quite flimsy. I mean, if he falls out with Mark, I think he's going to lose ground slightly. But I love the fact that he's now kind of king of the Runts. It kind of suits him really well.
Is this a natural point in the time spectrum that we're in for change to happen?
To a certain extent, because I don't think this lot are deliberately, apart from Stephen, sort of delayering to try and win. But the circumstances, there's the catalyst of the people that they're with. So it will be Mark having that effect. It will be the fact that Kim left having that effect on Stephen. So it's come a little bit early, but it's come nevertheless.
And will those individual changes make a drastic change on the house as a whole, do you think?
Well, I think very much on the fact that we've now got the Runts are a bigger group, and they do rule okay at the moment, don't they? I mean, if you look at the Cool Gang, they're looking very small and very isolated and very much under threat. What a shame.
And very quickly, Pav and Zoe, how do you think they've settled in?
Pav, really, really well. They seem to really like him. The thing I love about Zoe is her body language, because she's so expressive with her facial expressions and she's so tactile. I think they love that because they can see what she's thinking, and I think that means she doesn't feel like a threat.
Isn't she?
They're all in there playing poker with their facial expressions, but she's really giving with hers. And I think it's given her a bit of a sort of quasi-maternal role in there as well. She just seems really nice, but I did say that about Pauline, so watch this space.
On that note, Judy James, thank you very much. Now, I was gonna give you something else, but that's it for now. Coming up, we're going to be serving up starters for dish on the side, and it seems that Mark has left a bad taste in the former housemates' mouths. See you in a bit. Welcome back to Bit on the Side, the show that's like a late pull in a club. The girls will know all about this. Seems like a good idea at first, and then they switch the lights on at the end of the night and it's all gone drastically wrong. Right, time for some more power action, and Danielle has come to give her advice. Check this out.
Danielle.
Hi, babe. Oh my God. Hi. Right, quickly, we've only got a minute.
Pav, you have to watch out for Pav. He's a serious game player, okay? He knows exactly what he's doing. Ashley, he's infatuated with you. Watch your back. This is very, very important. He is in there to win. That is the fact of it. And anything you say to him, he'll go back to other groups and say it back. So you need to watch. Next one's Zoe. She knows reality TV inside out, okay? She's got a massive fan base. She knows what she's doing. Don't trust her. Definitely do not trust her. She knows what she's doing. She's playing up to the cameras. So I'm telling you right now, watch out. Put them both up. Put Zoe and Pav up. But seriously, watch out both of them.
Thanks so much, Danielle. I'm missing you so much. You look fab.
Thank you so much.
I love you.
take it on board. Because
I would
it's
take
about
that
Pav.
comment.
Do not forget that.
I will not be
But
sitting near
act
Pav
now,
again.
act
That's
the same
creepy.
about it.
So there we go. We've seen how the Power Alliance are working, but will this trio succeed or will the power crumble around them? Girls, why do you think they chose Ashley? The public, that is.
I think because the Danielle thing, because obviously she give her another chance, maybe.
Yeah, it's nice to see her without Danielle, because literally, like,
She's
Danielle,
poison. I don't like her.
Terrible.
Hot kettle black then, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean?
I know.
They're all kind of giving Pav quite a rough ride, aren't they? As you said, Eddie hasn't been in there 5 minutes.
I'm not happy about this.
I can see it in your eyes, Ed.
I've warmed to a lot of the housemates when I've interviewed them, but Danielle less so. So,
yeah.
Don't trust her.
Should we stop talking about Danielle?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Okay. Stella, how do you think Ashley's been getting on with the whole power thing so far?
I think she's quite clever, and I think she, she comes across as quite diplomatic and everything, but she's clever and she knows what she's doing. She wants to win, and she's very good at persuading people to kind of like coming round to her point of view and so on. So
It's
I
a
think
good girl image kind of thing.
She's a good little actress, isn't she?
Yeah,
as well?
yeah.
She's
She's very
thinking about
good.
the things that she says and how she
She's
leads them up the
dangerous.
garden path. Oh, Stella's giving her a little
Watch the
wink.
quiet ones.
Now, she didn't want to put Pav up because he was a suspect. Again, playing it pretty well, don't you think, Ed? Is she, do you think, smarter than they kind of give her credit for her years?
Oh, of course. I mean, I think that's obvious to any viewer. I think she kept a straight face during the tea leaves incident, so she should get some sort of top marks for that. She's sort of like a Northern Ireland Vicky Pollard. She talks 100 miles an hour. Yeah. But if you listen to what she's saying, she's very methodical, very intelligent, but she's also looking out for her own interests, but appearing to be quite fair. So I admire her a lot, and I think if we want a sort of someone who's approaching it as a game to win this year, I think Ashley would be a great mix between a game player and a good person.
Okay.
She flips into the little girl. Whenever there's some pressure, she then cuddles her teddy and walks around with that. So she's got that sort of image as well.
But
she's only 18, but she's in it as a woman.
She's an 18-year-old bitch, isn't she? She's not. She's a conniving little troublemaker. And she loves
No,
it.
she's
not.
Is it fair to say you are not an Ashley fan?
100%.
200%?
No, Ashley, what she is, she's a great actor. She should join Chris in the theatre industry. Yes, she is a game player, but she's good at the game. She's very good at what she does. And that's all there is to it.
What about, she picked Chris as her first alliance. Was that a good move, Stella? Were you surprised by it? They are very good friends and they get on very
Not at
well.
all, because obviously she's quite persuasive. She's chosen him. She knows that he'll be very agreeable, and she can kind of control him on a certain level. Okay,
Does
so
it
that's
at
why
all
she's-
give the game away if they do get suspicious of a group of people because they are quite good friends? To the other housemates, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's quite good at keeping the act up.
Right.
He finds it a little bit more
Yeah.
difficult, and he could definitely.
And he's the
let
actor.
Yeah, but is he a working actor? That's my question. Is he?
Don't know.
In or out of work? I don't know.
Somebody who might know is Rob, who's a very good friend of his. Rob, are you on the phone?
Hello, Emma. Yes, I am.
Oh, good. Okay. Now, is he a working actor?
Well, I mean, he's
That's
not
what's-
working right now, but yeah, he's otherwise.
Okay, good. Okay, so how do you think Chris is going to handle having the power for the second time, Rob?
I think because it's slightly diluted between two other people, or maybe more, he's actually going to handle it better than he did last time. He'll be able to justify decisions much more easily, I think,
Yeah.
with two other people to bounce off of. And he kind of seems to always try and give a kind of moral weight to whatever he's doing when he was the power housemate. And I think having someone like Mark there will remove the need to do that, possibly.
Yeah, and I suppose also you probably don't feel like you're being quite as evil, do you, if you've got a couple of little buddies to do it with you as well?
Yeah, although that does open up the potential for being more evil and not realising it, I think. If we're all agreeing with each other, you can go down, keep going sort of a downward spiral.
Do you think they'll make a good alliance in all?
The
three of them?
I think Ashley and Chris will, because I don't know if they'll get found out in that sense, because they always talk together anyway. I don't think that will raise too many suspicions. I don't know if Mark's a liability. If one of them was, it would be him.
Okay. Rob, thank you. We've got a little bit of a crackly line, but we've had a good chat, so thanks for being on the phone.
Okay.
Say bye to Rob. So, after Chris came Mark to join the alliance. Stella, is he going to make a good power player?
I think he's so funny. I think that he is a liability, really. I think he's like a kid at Christmas that can't wait to open his presents. I think he finds it really hard. Like, he's got all this control. I've got to keep quiet. Oh, my God. And it's probably gone to his head. I think he's quite kind of hedonistic about it. So he is a bit risky when it comes to the three of them.
When Winston came in the room, Mark just changed the conversation like that. I think he's a lot more on the ball than he lets on.
Yeah, but that's too obvious.
Yeah,
it's like he's not acting naturally.
I suppose it depends what gear you change the conversation in, isn't it? If you kind of do it at a low gear,
but you know what?
quite
He said
gradually.
smiling. Everyone just trusts him because he looks so sweet and innocent,
Smile,
a bit like
I don't
Ashley,
know.
really.
Okay, well, again, we have someone to talk on Mark's behalf on the phone. Hannah, his cousin, is on the phone. Hannah, are you there?
I am, hi.
How are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
Good. Now, how much is Mark going to love doing this, do you think, and have the power?
I think he'll love it as long as he doesn't have to be nasty to anyone.
How do you think he's going to handle it? He himself said in tonight's show, he was looking at the pictures on the wall saying, I would just crumble if I got it. Do you think he'll be able to handle it? Will he have a good poker face with it?
He's not very tactful with things, so I think he might not be great with it, but as long as he's getting a bit of fun out of it, I think he'll be okay.
And were you surprised that Chris and Ashley chose him?
I was, because I didn't know they were that close in the house, but I think they might have chose him because he's friends with everyone. He'll be able to have a good say about everyone because he hasn't got any enemies in there.
Okay, Hannah, thanks for being on the phone.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Bye. Ed, what did you make to them picking Ash to face eviction?
Well, as always, Ashley is in control. I wasn't surprised that Mark picked someone he's supposedly close to, because I do think he's a nice guy, but he says time and time again, you go in as yourself, we're all here to have £100,000, and so I don't think he has any loyalties at the end of the day. I think, if anything, he's probably one of the more calculating ones in the house. And although he's popular now, I can see the way he is being towards Christopher being his downfall, and I think if that is shown a lot, if we see a lot of that in the next few days, by this Friday or the following one, he could start getting boos, I think. I think because people have really warmed to Christopher because he's kind of very loyal, very sweet guy. So Mark, I think, we're seeing a lot more sides of him now. Very complicated character.
We're quite far down the line. They've been playing the game for quite a bit. We've just said there's three of them in this Power Alliance. You would think safety numbers, you feel a bit better doing everything. But they do seem to have trouble nominating, don't they, Stella?
Yeah, well, I think it's really difficult because once the group becomes smaller, they form all these different loyalties and things. And, you know, also there's the game at play, you know, if I choose this person, will it make it better for me, and so on and so forth. So I think it is really, really difficult.
Their nominations are not secret.
Oh, darn!
And they also know this year their nominations are not secret. So
yes, anything, kind of everything's up for grabs,
Yeah,
isn't
exactly. It? So their popularity's at stake and so on, depending on what decision they make. So I think it's really, really difficult, yeah.
Okay, one very quick question to kind of everybody in the room. The housemates don't know who the Power housemates are.
They will.
How would you as viewers like to not know who the Power housemates are? So you're kind of on a murder mystery, like you're guessing along with them.
Very good.
A really nice twist. I'd quite like that.
You would like it?
Yeah.
No.
I want to know what's going on at all times. This is Big Brother. This is Big Brother. I want to know.
Wouldn't we all? But there's no live feed. Thanks, everybody. Now, they may have only just left the house, but we decided to bring them back together for a slap-up meal. Here's what happened when Matthew, Toya, Jarlath and Marlon tucked into their dish on the side. And let me tell you, things got pretty tasty.
Welcome to Big Brother's Dish on the Side, where ex-housemates take chunks out of each other, grill them, drizzle them in just dessert and serve it all cold. Over 3 courses, the ex-housemates reflect on their time in the house and settle their differences, we hope. It's time for starters. On the menu tonight are Jarlath, Marlon, Toya and Matthew. Bon appetit!
Hi.
Hello?
Marlon.
Oh gosh. Don't worry.
I'm not going to worry.
Is it here? You seen anyone?
No.
Let's just eat.
Can we stop?
No, because people are coming in. Hello.
Hi.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah. Right, who's here?
Hello, darling.
How are you?
I'm good. I love your
You're
shirt.
right. Oh, thank you. You look nice. Hi,
Thank you,
Charlotte.
Sly.
Right.
It's really hot in here.
This is fun, isn't it?
You want some?
Oh, yes, please. How many plates?
Oh, is that yours?
How many people
Are these yours?
I'm giving someone
Oh,
a bit of
thank
wine.
you.
We've got
Thanks,
4
Charlie.
more.
Make sure you split this between you and Toya.
Well.
Cheers! Great stuff.
I haven't watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Which housemate annoys you the most?
I would say the housemate that annoys me the most is Chris.
Why is that?
Because he'll go into the diary room and say two very different things to how he actually says in front of like your face when you speak to him about it.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's not genuine.
But Charlotte, isn't that what the diary room is for?
Helen goes in that diary room and attacks people personally.
Exactly.
Makes them look absolutely idiot.
Helen's going to get enough shit coming out of this house to last a lifetime. I don't need to sit and kick her while she's down.
She deserves it. She brought it on herself. What kind of boyfriend do you think Stephen would make?
He doesn't seem to have any self-control. I love you. 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 You love me. I love you. I mean, come on.
Kim and Stephen are very close. They're in a relationship. Of course, it's going to look completely
No, but I felt
intense. He said he loved
no, but
her.
I feel like because of the fact that he's so emotional
when I
and he
wa-
wears his heart on his sleeve and she's quite set, she keeps her cards close.
Very close.
He's
The
reaching out to
why she
grab
does
her
that-
feelings.
No, but the
and
reason
she's
why
not,
she-
she's not one of those girls that
Matt,
gives
you're
someone
dramatic.
attention.
Mate.
I'm not. I'm just saying she's not one.
So
I'm not trying to
dramatic.
say. What are
Charlie!
you talking about?
What is wrong
I'm giving
with
you an
him?
answer, but I can't get a fucking answer.
Actually,
He
you know
lives in this house. Why are you like dramatising
I'm not
everything? It wasn't
dramatising
that bad in there.
Charlie, I got the
I like
I got
him,
the
but I'm
rot in
not
the
sure
Kimberly
I
in the
think
first
now.
week, right? The comment that I made, fair enough, it was
I
below
have
the
to go with
belt.
my gut and what I know. I'm
Then
sorry.
3 weeks later, she's having sex in the house.
She made herself look like a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Everything she said to
Well, that's up
Marlon.
to her then, isn't it? It's not up to
In her
us to
face.
say that to her.
And that's one thing I don't
She is
understand.
nasty,
You come across
honey.
as a
I want to
as
say
a,
something to you.
a model that's
Open it.
quite.
Stop, please.
That's her boyfriend.
Kimberly
That's
would-
not her boyfriend.
Yeah, what the fuck?
That's her
Okay, I'm
housemate.
sorry. She's got a phone call, she's home.
Her
I didn't get a
boyfriend's
phone
on the
call from my
outside,
girlfriend.
babe.
I missed her more
She's
than
with
you
her
do.
boyfriend.
I am, and I have a right to speak
And
out.
what do you? Mark, I personally think Mark is playing the biggest.
Mark,
Okay, I know it being
honey,
kind
is
of
this what
wild.
we're going to agree?
Yeah, I agree
Mark
with you.
is playing the
biggest
biggest
game.
game.
Apart from
He
Chris.
knows where all the cameras are.
Apart from
He knows
Chris.
how to react.
Preach.
Yeah. This is his reaction to
I
everything.
agree.
Yeah, yeah. Let me do
Bro,
an impression.
honestly,
say
I
something.
My
Charlie, say something.
mother was a man.
I think with Mark,
What a bellend.
no, I honestly think, I don't think he's not, but that's not fair. I don't think he's playing a massive
Hang on,
game.
you don't think
You
Mark's
don't
playing
think
a
Mark's
game?
I
playing
don't
game?
think to the extent that you're making out he is.
What's the neck of your TV?
What was that?
I did playing a game, Mo.
He's not. I mean, I was
He's playing-
he's
he's
playing up
playing-
a lot more.
He's,
No.
do you know what? He's playing the best game.
He's playing
Shall I tell you why he's
because
playing
you
the
don't
best
know
game?
he's playing a game.
Exactly.
That's the game he's playing.
Yes, honey.
Do you guys think Danielle's playing dumb?
No.
I'm carrying a lot of pain because I'm so confused. Because in the media, I've defended that girl. I have never said anything against her despite the pictures I've seen. And I don't know whether I was friends with that girl or was I friends with a girl in the house who didn't like to talk about sex, who I don't know who she is.
What I think you need to do is, what I've done is just take her for what I saw her for. I'm known her for 5 weeks or 6 weeks
I
or
will as
whatever.
well.
And I'm just going to take her for what I saw you in the house. Whatever the media, or whatever they have to say.
Yeah, but I'm not going to
there,
lie.
but-
Yeah, but if somebody had
I
come
think
in the
Danielle-
house, if someone had come in the house and said, "Do you know what, Marlon? I've got nude pictures of Danielle."
Right.
Would you believe that they actually exist?
No, I wouldn't believe.
Well,
I
and
did.
but that's how I feel.
Danielle, I do genuinely believe that she is Christian. I think she's having a bit of an identity crisis.
Danielle is going to be joining them for the main course on Dish on the Side in our next instalment. Still to come, the Valley Girls will be gathering the gossip in the reality gallery. Plus, yes, we'll be finding out what advice ex-housemate Matthew had for the Power Alliance. See you soon. Where we have formed our very own secret power alliance with the main show. Although it's not a secret if you tell everyone, is it? No. Shit. Here's the news. At 2:11 this afternoon, the Power Trio had the opportunity to ask ex-housemate Matthew for some advice.
Oh my god, no. I miss you all so much.
We miss you too.
I love it. Seriously, you guys are doing so well. You need to be in the final, okay? All of you.
I miss you so fucking much, Matthew. I can't even. Listen, I've got to ask you. I've got 1 minute in. Who should we put up?
Okay, listen to me carefully. Zoe and Pav have watched the show. They know what's going on. They're both snakes in the grass, okay? Pav has a psychology degree. He's sitting in the back. He's analysing everyone. He is a snake in the grass. Watch out for him. Zoe as well, she knows what she's doing. She's befriending Helen for her own reasons. It has a hidden agenda. Don't trust either of them. Keep your wits about you. You know who your friends are, especially you, Ashley.
Yeah. Stern words from Matthew there. But let's find out if the housemates took his advice on board, shall we?
It's now time for the Power Alliance to decide.
Right.
Which housemate are you going to nominate next?
Our third nomination is Pav.
From what our close friends have said, the advice have been given, he's definitely not who he claims to be.
He's not genuine. He's
not genuine.
Playing a game.
I know, I just know like Danielle and Matthew would never like lie about something like that. The way they explained it, they both said identical things. Even Bianca said completely all the same things.
They all said the same things about Pav, yeah.
Same psychology, he's using it, he's creepy with me, he's playing a game, he's doing anything to get to the final, he's
rumbled.
The next housemate to face this week's eviction is... Pav. Pav, you will join Stephen and Ash and face this week's public vote. That is all.
Cool. Pav last on?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah?
I'm completely fine with that.
You're like, Pav.
I'm gutted about
You
that.
okay?
Alright, man.
Cheers, dude.
Let the games begin.
So there you have it. Poor old Pav is the third housemate to be put up for eviction. Tune in tomorrow to find out who else could be up for the boot as well. And finally at 2:37 this afternoon, obviously needing some light relief from the stress of the power returning to the house, Christopher fitted in a bit of exercise.
Fuck a dog. Why is life so hard? Because you're a fat shit. Bloody hell.
He really needs to start engaging that core, doesn't he? Strong back, strong belly. Do you think, though, that it will impress Mark if he works on his guns a little bit? That's today's news. Right, girls, you're in the reality gallery. What's happening?
Well, Helen thinks she's burned her tits and her legs in the garden sun today.
Oh dear.
Housemates are gathered to beg for survival. Helen thinks the power housemate will choose Ashley based on her plea.
Okay.
Mark admits to using guy liner but has never drunk chamomile tea and said it smells and stinks of caramel and shit.
What a concoction. Last one, girls.
Ash cannot believe it's been 7 weeks since they first entered the house, saying it's longer than the school holidays.
Yes, it is. Ladies, thank you. Enjoy your time spying on the housemates.
Thank you.
Let's go over to Didge, see what's happening over here. Ian, what
Hello.
you got?
Well, more exclusives are online.
Yes.
Including the last housemate to be nominated. You might be able to find that out online.
Oh, look at Ed's face.
Really?
It was like a little meerkat
You'll have
paying
to find out.
attention.
I've been called a meerkat before.
We've got more from the ex-housemates who entered the house today. The
Yeah.
Power Alliance's decision-making process is all online and on the app. It's
Okay,
brilliant.
fabulous.
And
And
we've got
tweets.
tweets about the Power Alliance nominated housemates.
Okay, let's
Stella?
go for it. We've got a whole 45 seconds.
Rudy95, I think choosing Mark was a mistake. He's too friendly with everyone. Christopher is more loyal, I think.
Oh, okay.
And a guy called Big Rob says that they should nominate Zoe just for a curveball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
On the subject of who should go, Eileen says leave Stephen in so we can enjoy his misery, but Sarah Strong says he's escaped eviction too many times and it's his time to go.
Yeah, and that crowd love chanting 2
2 seconds, Stephen.
don't
2
they?
seconds, Stephen.
Although I do think he will come out chanting it himself, probably.
Yeah. thinking it's an hilarious joke that he's in on, and he's not.
No, he really isn't.
You got to go online to find out. BigBrother.channel5.com.
Ed, we'll take you in there in a minute. That's it. Thanks to all of my guests this evening. I'll be back tomorrow with Fifth Story's Adam Rickett.
Yes.
Guess who else is going to be here?
Who wants the cake?
The return of Lauren Harries. And don't forget, we've got that exclusive interview with Kimberly. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.